Andy Murray can be like Roger Federer in his injury recovery, but he must remain cautious. We never expected much. The Scot was finishing off his rehabilitation from half a year out with a hip injury when Novak Djokovic vacated the Mubadala World Tennis Championship running order at just a few hours' notice. Murray, ever keen to help out in situations like this, was happy to step up and play an exhibition match, albeit just a set-long one, against Roberto Bautista Agut. The stipulation that he would only play one set should have given us more than adequate warning of his condition, as should his hitting sessions with coach Jamie Delgado, which looked distinctly pedestrian. His opening service game, in which he basically got his serves in and was broken with ease, told us all we needed to know. It took him 20 minutes to get on the board, and even then he needed the help of a generous net cord. Murray is definitely not back yet. There were a few moments of trademark Mutsa bite. He faced 2 match points on his serve in the 7th game that lasted nearly 13 minutes, saving both with big serves that were notable for being closer to what we've come to expect from the British in 01. Bautista Agut served out the match a few minutes later, with Murray apparently glad to have simply made it through 40 minutes of semi-competitive tennis. When you haven't competed for a long time, it takes time to get back up to that pace. I started to feel a bit better at the end, Murray said. He'll need to keep improving, for sure. He added, it was good fun. I've no doubt Murray did miss the competition. But Murray will also have enjoyed the added chances to be a father, something Roger Federer spoke of fondly during his 2016 injury layoff. Federer's return has become the stuff of legend, winning the Australian Open and 3 5-setters along the way. But the Swiss revealed this month that even he wasn't sure exactly what he was capable of in Melbourne, especially after knee surgery earlier in 2016 that altered everything he knew about his previously troublesome joint. Entering the Australian Open, I knew that even if I lost in the first round, and left healthy, that was a win for me, Federer said. As far as we know, Murray has not had surgery, the last resort for most players and something he has done previously with his back. But even without the game-altering process of going under the knife, Murray seems to remain uncertain. He is understood to have changed his plans to spend extra time in Abu Dhabi, a switch that looks like a halfway house to Australia, where he will fly tonight. Then he will likely play the Brisbane International before the Australian Open, both of which will be the real side test for his hip. He is clearly desperate to do both. But the salient point is, if he is not ready, he must not. In fact, he must not be allowed to. Murray will almost certainly want to play, irrespective of how uncomfortable it might be. The 30-year-old has played through pain in one part of his body or another most of his professional life, and won't bother stopping now. But he is at a point in his career where his body is less resilient, recovery times are longer and he could be doing real damage. Pat Cash made a very good point in an interview with Express correspondent Matthew Dunn recently that he himself can play a bit of doubles, but there are very few tennis players who get away with not having to limp around for the latter part of their life. Murray, now a father of two, could be putting not only his remaining years of his career at risk but the quality of life he has with his family after all this is over. Goodness knows the whole tennis world wants to see Murray play the Australian Open, especially if Djokovic and Rafael Nadal are both struggling to make it at all. But Andy, for your own sake, take it off if you need to.